What up, people? Um, as I get ready to go, because it's about 8:30 now when I'm recording this. As I get ready to go to the barber shop, because I start my new job Monday. Um, I just had an Apple, I guess, thought or rant because Facebook has this thing about you get to look back at your old past and stuff that you wrote on Facebook, and I did like a little log because last year because they just had their keynote from this year where they introduced the iPhone 7 and the Mario Run thing, which I'm kind of glad Nintendo did that because they're about to make a lot of money, and they made a lot of money off of the Pokemon Go thing. They got about 20% of the revenue, but that's not what this is for. So last year during the keynote, they released the iPad Pro, and this is what I wrote concerning the iPad Pro. So, and this was from September 10th, 2015. Well, it wasn't. Let me see. It wasn't. I don't think it was last year when they released it, but I think I was at home, and let me see. I don't know. I forget the timeline here, because I think it came out, and then I think it came out, and I really didn't know what it was, and I looked around. I looked at it. It was 2015. I looked at it because I actually checked it out at the Apple Store, like when they released it. I checked it out at the Apple Store later. I'm not exactly sure. So I don't know if this was keynote or whatever, but this is what I wrote when I finally read some of the reviews on the iPad Pro. Okay, so Apple finally came out with an iPad Pro. Part of me wants to get one, but part of me is mad because I feel like the Surface Pro is better. Why? USB ports. If the line between tablets and laptops is going to continue to blur, at least that's what they keep telling us, then as an Apple person, I should be able to take a project from work or in the field, save it, and work at it in multiple devices, which I still can't do easily with the iPad Pro, looks like. If the whole goal of tablets now is to replace a laptop, which if you get the souped up version of the iPad Pro is equal to a MacBook or MacBook Airs spec wise, I actually found out that that's not exactly true. The the iCloud is cool and all, but a flash drive is easier. I'm all for sleek design, but one of the reasons I've yet to buy a tablet is Apple's insistence on not adding USB ports to their iPads. Okay, couple things here. Like I actually found out that spec wise, it's easier to get an iPad Air than to get an iPad. I mean, not an iPad Air. It's easier to get like a MacBook Air than to get a Pro, because if you really want to get a suit, the only reason to get an iPad Pro is the touchscreen. And see, this is my problem with Apple. We've been waiting. Anybody that's a Mac person has been waiting for years to get a touchscreen Mac. There was a company that would convert your MacBook Pros or your MacBooks into touchscreens. It was years ago. You would buy a computer from Apple and you would send it through them, or I think they sold them already pre-done, but I think their business was basically conversion, and I forget the name of them because it was a while ago. And they would convert your system into a touchscreen system. A lot of people did this with their MacBooks back in the early 2000s. I think Apple made them stop doing that, or I think Apple made them stop doing that. And one of the problems when you did stuff like that, you screw up your warranty and the Apple Care and all that stuff. So what everyone has been talking about for years, at least 10 years, is that why don't we get a full an Apple supported touchscreen environment with their computers. And it just seems like to me that Apple is completely forgetting about that section of their buying audience, because basically the keynote, and people were saying, we have the rumors and Mac rumors and articles has been written about the keynote. And I didn't watch the keynote. I just checked the highlights because of my job. I couldn't really sit back and watch it for 2 hours. So what I did on my break is I skimmed the keynote. So they told us about the apps, the upgrades on the apps and stuff, and they told us about the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. I'm gonna get into that in a second. And they told us about the Mario thing. And as cool as the Mario thing was, as nostalgic as it was and stuff like that, and as much as a Mario fan as I am, I'm 34 years old and I'm a graphic designer. Now I'm a content creator. You know what I'm saying? That's cute, but it's not what I need. And the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus, it's basically the iPhone 6 with Retina display, which I think we already have an iPhone 6S. I have it. And basically you took the headphone jack away. I don't necessarily know how that's going to work, but one of the things that bothers me about the wireless headphones, two things. One, Apple's earbuds suck and they don't fit in my ear. I always have to get the Apple earbuds that come with the phone. I don't even use. They're my external microphone for when I do interviews with people now. Because their microphone is really good, but I rarely use it as headphones anyway, because the earbuds suck. So I have to go. So basically, when I go and get an iPhone 7 now, I have to get not specialized headphones, but the actual like earbuds and the actual like round earbuds ones, not the aerodynamic joints that they sell, that they give you with the phone, because those don't fit well in my ear. So if you want to get a different type of headphones, you have to spend an extra $100 just to get headphones. Whereas it used to be, this is not just Apple's thing, although Apple tends to do this. It used to be you can get like headphones for $5. You can go to like freaking, I don't know how they're gonna do this, but because somebody's gonna figure out how to get it to where you can use your normal headphones or your regular cord headphones with your iPhone 7. I have no doubt someone's gonna figure this out. But it's like, man, in order to get like wireless headphones as cool as they are, you have to spend extra money from Apple. When it used to be, I can go to, Walgreens or Five Below or whatever, and grab me a set of earbuds that I like, actual earbuds that fit in my ear for $5. You can't really do that now, it seems like. And it's just like, I don't want to go and have a PC laptop, because I really like the Surface, and then be a Mac person in every other capacity, because Apple just like, I checked out the specs for iPad Pro. You can't, in order to get an iPad Pro that matches what a laptop can do, you have to spend $1,200. And it's like, for $1,200, I want a USB port. And I'm waiting for Apple to get their head out of their butt and actually give me a computer with a touchscreen environment. Why is this hard? Why do we have to, like, every keynote for the past 10 years, I've been waiting for Apple to give me a touchscreen computer. And they just won't. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here jealously looking at Surface commercials saying, I want one. Just like I was looking at the Samsung commercials for years, and when the phone when their Surface when they're giant, I forgot the name. They're not Surface, but they're Galaxy Tab, where the phone tablet thing. We were all looking quietly over all the Apple people before the iPhone 6 Plus came out. We were all quietly looking at those commercials. And we were saying, I want one of those. And then to find out when I had a chance to get mine, because I had a chance to get mine, I ended up going with a regular size phone just because the neck wallets don't really fit well with the 6 Pluses. So I just decided not to get one. But it's like I'm sitting here looking at Surface commercials and I'm like, I want one of those. I want to be able to run Photoshop on a tablet. I don't know if they can run Illustrator on a tablet, on a Surface, but they can run a Photoshop with one. We don't even have like the apps that come from the Adobe Cloud for Apple. You can use them, but they're like notes. They're like note ads. They're like note apps rather. And it's like I want to get something that I can actually take with me, or I can replace, because I have a Mac Mini now. I want to be able to get a touchscreen laptop somewhere, and I want it to be Apple like sanctioned. I don't want it to get it converted for an extra $1,000, with a company. And I think that company, like I said, is no longer there. So I don't know. When I saw that memory that Apple shared a year ago, it just made me think about that keynote and how whack that keynote was. Like, you're basically taking away by having the headphone jack gone. And I'm probably not going to get an iPhone 7 because I just got a 6 and it's going to take me 2 years to pay it off. So I'm not going to go and get an iPhone 7 or iPhone 7 Plus because there's no need to. I didn't want to get the 6, but my phone got wet. My 4 got wet, and it wasn't able to work. So I'll probably have the 6 until I just have to have a 7, and then by then it'll be like iPhone 9 or something. So anyway, quietly waiting for Apple to get their head out their butt and give me a touchscreen laptop. Because I'm sorry, I'm not spending $1,200 for a souped up iPad Pro where I have to use the cloud, where you can't use you can't have a USB port, where I still have to spend $100 for a keyboard attachment, and I still have to spend $100 for a stylus, when a Surface already comes with that for free. They got Surface books now. They got full-fledged like laptop powered Surface books, Surface Pros now. And it's just like, come on, man. Why do we have to be like 2-3 years behind? When it used to be Apple would be like on the cutting edge of everything. Remember the days when PC was like, man, we Microsoft was like, man, we gotta we gotta do what Apple's doing. That's when Vista came out. Like, Vista was just the garbage version of OS 10, and they rusted so fast. There were so many patches that needed for it. It failed. They kind of got it right with the latest the latest couple of Microsoft operating systems. But the thing that Microsoft did is they didn't have two operating systems. Like, they didn't have two operating systems. It's not like you had, Apple has the OS and then Apple has the mobile OS, and they work seamlessly together. It's like with PCs, Microsoft, they worked on their touchscreen environment for their computers. And I want Apple to do that and develop like a real touchscreen computer, because I don't work on a computer. I don't work on a PC, but I've worked on it before at other people's houses and stuff, and it's actually pretty decent now. We still get viruses and everything, but Macs are starting to get viruses too because the market share is better, is bigger. It used to be like a 10% market share as far as like computer ownership. Now that's going up a little bit, so Macs have viruses now. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling. This is kind of disjointed now, but that's just my thoughts. I don't want Apple to come out with another cool thing that we have to spend an exorbitant amount of money for that none of us with any practicality would use. Like, I still don't have an iPad. And at first it was, I refused to get one because really what people don't understand is all the iPad was an answer to netbooks. Remember netbooks? And like all these netbook companies came out and Steve Jobs was like, screw a netbook. I remember when, I don't know if it was the iPad or one of the keynotes when the netbook started coming out. And he was like, screw netbooks. And it was either when the iPad came out or it was like right before the iPad came out. He was talking cash noise about netbooks. And he was saying that netbooks run like PC, full computer software, and it's clunky and all this stuff. And I think like the next keynote, he introduced the iPad and everybody lost their minds. And it's like, and I remember saying when the iPad came out, y'all do realize you guys are buying a Mac version of a netbook. You can't really, it's basically for, basic computer usage and checking emails and stuff. So, and you're spending $500 on this piece of software that you can't really use. And he's complaining about netbooks. And basically, this is Apple's answer to a netbook. And sure enough, everybody lost their mind. And they did kind of revolutionize what a tablet is. Although it used to be the old school tablets were full computers. The old school tablets were full computers with a touchscreen environment. Yeah, they were clunky as all heck, but they worked. So now everybody got the standard for what a tablet is from Apple, and then the PC is actually being more innovative by getting Ultrabooks. They're trying to, get that going on, and they're working with making the operating system a touchscreen environment, and it's seamless instead of having like an OS one and a regular computer one, and making it interconnect. And it just, I don't know. I just want Apple to give me a regular computer with a touchscreen, please. Please. The next keynote, can we have that, please? Can we work on that? I don't want to know about Mario, whatever. I don't want to know about a phone that I'm not gonna buy anyway until I need to. The headphone jack is stupid. The iPhone, and I knew about the minus the headphone jack before it even happened. Like people have been saying that. I knew about that in I knew about that in like February. And people were saying it was stupid then, and they did it, and we're all gonna buy it because, Apple people with money are lemmings, and they just buy whatever the heck Apple puts out. So everybody's gonna get the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus, even though there's really no need. If you have a 6, there's really no need to get the iPhone 7 or the 7 Plus. And the headphone jack is stupid. You're just gonna spend a bunch of money on headphones. Because quiet as kept, Apple headphones die out, just like their cords, and you have to spend. Their cords die out. Their headphones die out, especially if you use them often. Like my Apple headphones, like I said, I use it for the external mic. I have an iPad, not iPad, but I have an iPod 3. I have an iPod Touch, like 3rd generation, that I specifically use for recording. And my headphones are attached to those. And I'm using like $5 headphones. I'm using $5 headphones for everyday usage because I'm not trying to spend $20 or $30 for for some Apple headphones. That's stupid. Then now they're gonna make you buy Apple centric products at the Apple store for $20 to $25, or in this case, because they're wireless, $50 to $100. So I I don't like that, man. I don't like the whole you have to do the monopoly thing. It's the same thing as the gaming console. This is a off subject, and then I gotta go. The gaming console situation, I refuse to buy a modern day gaming console. I'm still running Xbox, old school Xbox. I might end up being an Xbox collector, the first generation Xbox, and I might get like a PS2. You know why? I can buy a PS4, or I can buy like an Xbox One. I refuse to. You know why? Because I stayed with my brother for a couple of months, and he has an Xbox One, and this is what basically killed it for me as far as buying next generation consoles. One of my favorite fighting games is Dead or Alive. We go out, we buy the Dead or Alive game, the Dead or Alive last round or whatever it is. We get the game home. I think it was like $30 or something like that. We get the game home, we pop the game in the Xbox. The damn game is basically a demo. They have two characters, they have half the game, and you gotta buy like fighter packs to enjoy a full experience. So my brother's character is, I forget the name. My character is, I think her name is Anaya, something, or Anaja or something. The chick with the purple hair. His character's in there. My character is Jet Li. Now, me and my brother, going back to Dead or Alive 3, we would spend hours playing and fighting and all this stuff, like when he first got the Xbox. So when we popped the game in, and I found out that Jet Li, a standard in all Dead or Alive games, is a downloadable character, and you got to pay $50 to get a fighter pack. Screw Xbox, man. Screw Xbox and PlayStation, because that's stupid. You spend $40 on a CD and then half the game is downloadable content. I refuse to spend $300 on a machine. And oh, by the way, there's no second market to buy video games, because you can't rent video games for these new systems. You can't get used because everything is coded now. There's no downloadable. Everything is downloadable content now. Everything is coded where you can't even take the game back to the store. They made it now to where you can't even buy like pre-play games anymore. And it's just like, and they did that because people were making money on the second-hand market, and none of the companies were seeing the money. They were only seeing one sale, and all the companies were like, "Man, we're really not seeing any money." And this has always been a thing. Nintendo was mad back in the '80s because of game rentals. They actually sued. I think it was Blockbuster. They actually sued Blockbuster. They sued a couple of video game rental companies, because they were trying to stop people from renting video games in the 80s, because they weren't getting the revenue off of the game rentals, and they weren't getting the revenue. They're not getting the revenues now off of the secondhand market, like. So now everything is downloadable content, and there's a code that, like, your machine is coded with the disc or whatever, so you can't even buy a secondhand game. And it's like, man, if I'm buying a game, it's like now, and I'm a fighting game fan too. That's another thing. If I'm spending $50 on a fighting game and then half the game is DLC, you miss me with that. The only thing I really care about, honestly, that I have to play every year is Madden. It's we don't play NCAA anymore because they stopped making them after 2011. I think it was 11. It's 11 or 12, I think. They stopped making NCAA football because of the antitrust thing. So the only thing I really care about, honestly, is Madden. And as long as my brother updates his Madden every year, I'll continue to play Madden. And I have about two versions of Madden on my Xbox now. I have 2003 and I have 2005. That's about, if you're an old school like collector, those, unless you're just like a completist when it comes to your collecting, those are the only games that you really need as far as sports, because I have NCAA and I have Madden. And basically I have NCAA because those that was the first year you can recruit straight athletes as football players, and it wasn't by position. And I think there was a couple other game modes in Dynasty, or there a couple other like features in Dynasty mode rather that I liked. And I have 2003 because that was the first set of Maddens where, one, they changed the gameplay mechanic that I really like. You don't have to, once you hike the ball, you don't have to do hike again to see your routes. You don't have to press A again to see your routes. They took that mechanic away. And in '03, you can import your draft class from NCAA '03 to Madden '03. Okay, I'm done after that. I got my game. I got those. I actually have the NFL Fever, the 2003 and the 2002 and 2002 through 2004. There you go. 2002 through 2004 NFL Fever, because they stopped making that game after '04. They had a pretty good gaming engine. But yeah, man, it seems like all these companies now are just in this to make money, and they're not trying to be practical. Like, iPads are one of the most impractical things I've ever seen. The iPad Pro to me is a waste of money. And until Apple makes a point to give me a real, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to wait before buying a laptop too, because I was hoping that they would give you a doggone system where it's a touchscreen system, and they haven't yet. That's all right. I still got my mini. My mini works. I got the 2012 version, so I can go in and I can tinker with it and I can upgrade some things, because Apple made that impossible. You used to be able to get a mini, and you used to be able to get it for $500 or for $1,000, because that's the server version. You used to be able to tinker with it. They stopped that because people would just get minis and then they would build super Macs with their minis. There's a YouTube video basically this dude figured out how to make it the fastest Mac Mini in the world, and you can only do that on 2012 models, because after 2012, the 2015 model, they soldered everything. I don't know. I nerded out for damn near half an hour. So that's my rant about Apple gaming and other things. I just want Apple to come out with a touchscreen computer. Not an iPad, not a iPad Pro. Just give me a MacBook Air with a touchscreen, please. Just make your OS intuitive to touchscreen like PC did with their last couple of OSs. Please. Give me that, please. I don't care about Mario Run. I don't care about a wireless headphones. If the wireless headphones are like damn near $200, I'm not going to get them anyway. I'm going to figure out a way. I'm not going to get them anyway. I'm going to figure out a way to get the $5 ones with an adapter. Anyway, push the wall blackout. Later.